Hey, everybody, I am live. Now, I went live on my desktop today so you could see the writing. I know it's super small. I'm going to read it to you, but it's not backwards. So we're starting off the week in a good way, right? Everything is turned in the right direction. So, hope you guys had a great Mother's Day weekend. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Today, what I want to share with you is actually going to continue for the next few days because I'm going to work with you on how to create more time in your busy schedule to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So, the problem for most of us is that we are so busy. And as if you don't know, my name is Kathy. I work with women over the age of 40 who want to take care of their health and fitness, get into better shape, feel better, look better, have more confidence, and honestly just enjoy life because hey, we've made it to the midlife stage. We might as well transition in a better way instead of just allowing life to pull us back down and break down in the meantime. So my goal is to just give you clarity this week on the fact of how busy we get and how we don't even see what we have power over. So a lot of times, for me included, and especially if you have young kids, you're still running kids around, which I'm gonna give you a great example of one client who has struggled with the same and many of your the same struggles that many of you have. I can't say that quickly enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some homework. So today is the very start of it. So this all titled today part one because I want you to watch this first. And the meaning behind this is that we all have the same amount of time. And I know you've heard this before, but if you're anything like I was, I used to say, well, yeah, but my schedule's a lot busier. I have more things that I am responsible for. I'm responsible for my family and my little ones, right? When I had the little kids, and then my job and my work and the house and having a relationship with my husband and all the other relationships in life. At certain points, we can feel overwhelmed. And as women, we do feel more overwhelmed than we share. And I know I've talked with a lot of women over the years on this problem that we just pretend, we grin and bear it. We act like, okay, I got this because we're strong and we're capable and we're able to persevere. But the problem is we're persevering in the wrong areas. Like we're taking on too many things to be good, to be nice, to be liked. And so what I want to do is just I just want you to look at your current schedule. So today is going to be, let's look at my schedule and see what it looks like. Because for a lot of us, this is what we think. Like our fantasy is this. What's this? This is our fantasy. We think that our schedule is broken up evenly. Like we think, okay, I sleep. I can't point and look at the right in the mirror. So I sleep this amount of time, like a third of my day. I sleep 7, 8 hours, whatever. I'm working these hours, 40 hours a week or whatever your work schedule is. And then I have my home, my family, and my fun. And so it's all broken up like this. But the reality is, and if you are struggling with fitting yourself in and not really knowing, like, how come I can't find any time? And why am I so frazzled? And why am I just barely able to keep up with my life, let alone be able to change anything and add time for me to work out and eat better and maybe have some time to sit and do nothing? It doesn't seem possible because the reality is more like this. Like we have our sleep, however many hours we sleep per night. Okay. And that's a whole nother topic, but most of us are getting some sleep. We have to sleep or else we're not going to be able to function at all. And then our work. Okay. So we have these set up and the rest of the day is pretty much set up like this. Like we have our anxiety. We have our, I can't read my writing. What did I write here? Okay. We have anxiety. We have, driving our kids or chauffeuring your kids, cooking meals, maybe that nobody even likes at home, right? I mean, that was my problem always. Sending emails, texts, calls for work in between, your other life. Oh, that's what this was. Resentment. Anxiety and resentment. Okay, those I could read my writing. Then we have cleaning, we have laundry, there's grocery shopping, there's wiping people's butts, right? Taking care of your kids or your pets, emails, events, things that just keep sucking up our hours, right? But the fact of the matter is that we all have 24 hours. Like nobody that is more successful and that is doing things in a better schedule and organization strategy has more time. Like this just, it's impossible. Okay. So we all have the same 24 hours a day. We all have the same 7 days a week. So 168 hours in a week. And where are yours going? So I know I hate homework too, but I want to give you an example because what I want you to do in today's challenge is record your daily activities. And I'm going to give you a system to do that. It's just pretty simple and basic because I want you to analyze your patterns. Because again, in the fantasy that we have in our mind, we have everything broken up in this perfect scenario, but it's not working that way if we're feeling frazzled and if we're not able to just spend some extra time taking care of our needs, prioritizing our health and our fitness, taking care of what we're eating and how we're feeling, right? If we're just running on empty and we keep saying yes to everything and everybody else because we want to be liked, we want to be good people, we want people to think that, we are there for them and supportive and all that. Every time you say yes to something or someone, you are saying no to yourself. So that was a big key aha thing for me to hear one day when I realized, because I kept saying, sure, I could do that. I could fit that. And that's just going to take a little time. And sure, you'll need me to go pick up this for you. And you need me to do this and you need me to do that. And it was work or family or friends or whatever the thing was. If I didn't weigh it out carefully, I was always saying no to something else that was either something that I wanted to do for myself, my family, or something that was more important to me. And in the long run, we keep getting our time eaten up by things and priorities and people that are not helping us move in the right direction. So we need to create boundaries. Like we are responsible, right? We're adults and we're responsible for our life, our priorities. And the whole problem is that it's our fault. Like it was my fault when I found myself just obsessively going. I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. I felt like I had no time. It was all about work. And yes, my work is in fitness and health, but I was still just overwhelmed and I wasn't eating right. I wasn't treating myself right. I wasn't even having the time that available that I wanted to spend on my workouts. It was all for my clients. And then my family came next. And it was just like this crappy schedule of just run and see how much you can get done in the 24 hours a day, in the 7 days a week. And by the end of the week, I thought, where did my time go? What did I do this week? And that's not a good feeling because we're just in this, we're not even coherent, right? We don't have any clarity in what we're doing and we're not moving forward. We're just spinning wheels. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to read this to you because I know it's really small writing, but this is actually an example of a client that wrote out her schedule. Like she's like, no, I have that fantasy land. Like I have time for work and family and all the things. But in reality, and this is what I'm going to have you do today and tomorrow, we're going to go and analyze it and we're going to give you the better ways of dealing with this. Because if your schedule is going to look like this, let me explain it because I can relate with this before. So 6:30 to 8:30, and this is an example, real life example. She jumps out of bed after hitting her snooze button. That's already a negative. We can't hit snooze in the morning. Get the kids up, make breakfast while checking texts and emails from her phone, then send her kids to school and daycare. Okay, so that's the 2-hour block in the morning. So it's just frantic. Okay, so how many of us can relate with that? Then she has 8:30 to 2:30. Now she's at work. She's taking calls. She's in meetings. She skips lunch because who has time for lunch? And she just works straight through. She just powers straight through. So there's no prioritization. It's just go, go, go. I got to get this stuff done. At 2:30, she's on the phone to her insurance company because she's got to deal with some things. And this is one day. So again, this is real life while answering work emails. So at the same time, she's on the phone, dealing with the insurance issues and then going through her emails. All right, 3:30, now she's got to go. She's got to pick up her kids from school, okay? Now, how many of us can relate with this? Lunch or dinner. You're throwing food in your mouth. Maybe you don't even realize it because you're so hungry. Again, she skipped lunch. So she's throwing handfuls of their uneaten lunch into her mouth to be able to give her some energy that she really needs at this point in time while driving home in time for a 4:00 meeting online, okay? 4:00, she's home. She's on her work meeting now while she's making after school snacks for the kids and putting in a load of laundry because now the youngest of her kid needs a soccer uniform cleaned. It was dirty, and they have practice at 6:30 that night. Okay. I mean, how many of you can relate with this woman's story? 5:30, she rushes through dinner. She's just inhaling dinner, inhaling the food, arguing with her spouse on who has to drive. No, it's your turn. No, it's not. I don't have time. Okay. 6:20, she hops in the car. She's yelling at the kids, got to hurry up, we're late, right? Speeds to 3 different practices, okay? Each child, and getting each kid to their lessons and their practices, okay? At 7:30, she's now answering work emails on her phone, texting on the sidelines while she's sitting in her car waiting for her kids, okay? Now it's 8:15 p.m. She's finally back home, discovers that one kid needs cupcakes. How many times have we been their moms? For a class birthday party tomorrow, right? So she's crazy baking something from a mix, and she's trying to bathe and put the kids to bed. She's reviewing their homework and making lunches for the next day. Okay, so that's 8:15. At 10:30 p.m., mind you, there's been no time for even a normal meal, let alone a workout or anything for herself. She sits in bed exhausted. She's watching a true crime show with her spouse. I mean, that's what we call connecting with our spouses in relationship time. This is not really connecting at all. This is just exhausting, falling, and just putting something on to just mindless watch. Still answering work texts and emails on her phone. Like, this is ridiculous, right? But this is what a lot of us are doing. At 12:30 a.m., now she's lying awake, worrying about the next day, and she can't fall asleep. If your schedule looks like this, there's a big problem. And there's absolutely no way that you're going to be able to add in a regular time for yourself to work out and to eat right when this is just a mess. This is just thrown things, chaos, and all the things, and just running and trying to pick up the pieces every single day. And no wonder we blur out. No wonder we're just exhausted. No wonder we have no energy and we're not taking care of ourselves because we don't have time. Right? We don't have time because we've added all of this. So what do we do? Right? Well, I know it sounds too good to be true. Like if I were just to be able to figure out my hours, and Kathy says we're going to analyze my schedule and we're going to fix this up. Good luck. Okay. I get it because I was there too. Trust me. But there's going to be things that you either have to delegate or get off your schedule altogether. And delegating is such a game changer. And you saw how many times, or you heard how many times she's answering emails and texts and taking calls for work from her phone. We need to prioritize all of these things because they're just bleeding into all these gaps of our day and where we have no time. So we end off the day stressed out. She's not sleeping here. She's not getting enough sleep. So she's waking up frantically. That's why she's hitting snooze. And there's just so many problems in the schedule that we have to assess before we add on a fitness and nutrition program. Okay. Yeah, definitely we need to be eating good, but this is just too much already. So she wasn't able to start something because of this. And chances are you're dealing with the same thing, which is why I wanted to just share the simple practice of you taking a piece of paper. Like all you need is to grab your own notebook or, your kids get out one of their notebooks and rip out a piece of paper. And you're just going to go through your day. So what time is it that you wake up in the morning? So for instance, this example, she's up at 6:30, hitting snooze, but 6:30 is when she's up. So if that's your wake up time, you would write 6:30. And all I need you to do, don't write every single minute of the day, but I would just go every hour. So if you're up at 6:30, 6:30 to 7:30, what were you doing in that hour? If it's getting kids up and, morning routine, and what does that look like? Okay, just be very, very, you don't have to be specific, just general, just so we know what we're working with. Okay, so then 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. So every hour, what are you doing? And it could be like here, she's 8:30 to 2:30, she's at work. So you can put 8:30 to 2:30 or whatever your hours are. If you're at work, put that in there and then work. And then what are you doing at work? Are you taking time to have lunch? Do you have lunch? What are the basic, how's the day basically going, and how much energy are you, putting out, and how much time are you actually able to sit and breathe? Is there any time to walk around the building? I know some people do have that time and that luxury, but some women's schedules look like this. Okay, guys too. This is a mess, and we need to actually get clear on we can take all the control, and we're letting our power just go to everything and everyone else. I don't think I could see any of the comments if there's anything coming through. So, I don't know if it's because I'm on my desktop That could be an issue, but I wanted my words to be in the right direction today. So priorities. So what I'd like you to do before tomorrow I'm going to go live again at noon, and I'm going to give you a clear cut how we cleared her schedule up to include time for herself, gym time or workout time, time to feel good and actually enjoy things in her life and her relationships. Like, how much time is she enjoying with her kids here? It's just frantic. And I remember the same thing with my schedule. My kids and I didn't have this nice relationship during the week. I was just like running crazy. And I shared the story one time. I've shared it many times, but my youngest, and he's 21 now, but when I would be frantic during the week. And I remember I would pull my hair back, like, because I always had long hair. So I'd pull my hair back into a ponytail, like if it was time to work out or like get things done. And I remember one time I put my hair in a ponytail and he started to cry. He was a little boy and he started to cry. And I says, what's wrong? And he just, please don't put your hair up. Don't put your hair in a ponytail, Mom. And I was like, what? Do I look bad? Like, what's wrong with my hair in a ponytail? You don't like ponytails? Like, I was so confused. And he goes, no, when you put your hair in a ponytail, you get mean. And I realized, like, oh my gosh, like, out of the mouths of kids, like young children, right, was just the truth of I was mean. I was this crazy, messed up, running around frantic, trying to get it all done because this made me a good person. This made me successful. But successful to who? And where was I successful? I was just a mess. This is not my schedule, but I can relate with this woman's schedule because my schedule was very much the same. Just run, run, run. Snooze button in the morning as many times as I can manage until I had to just jump out of bed and run. How good of a start of that day is that when we just leap out of bed, screaming at everybody, hurry up, we're late. It sets the tone for a very negative energy day. And that energy does follow us, whether we believe that or not. I mean, it does. Consider the one example when you get out of the wrong side of the bed. What happens? You stub your foot on the corner of the dresser, and everything's falling and you're dropping things because you're in such a bad energetic state that things just don't go right because you're not doing it right. You're just in this like frantic state. So the first thing before we add anything else to your schedule, like I would say, we need to take care of what's happening on the back end. Okay. So get your paper out. I want you to just write every single hour. So from the moment you wake up, the hour that you wake up, if it's 6 or 7 a.m., you write that, and then every hour, boom, 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 to your bedtime. And what are you doing basically, just so you have a general idea of what's happening in those hours between wake time and bedtime. And then tomorrow is where the fun starts, because tomorrow we're going to look at that. I'm going to give you real life examples. I will be writing on my board on what you can do with your examples, because I'm going to guarantee you that your schedule probably looks a little bit like this, right? And I'm going to guarantee you that we can find some time for you to get more done. Actually, you're going to be more productive when you do have a strategy, because this is not a strategy. This is just a mess. When we have a strategy and we put things into perspective and we have boundaries, oh my gosh, life will never be the same. You're going to have time for yourself. You're going to be a happier person. Your kids aren't going to cry and let's say, don't put your hair in a ponytail because you get mean. You're going to be happy. You're going to be more relatable. You're going to have better relationships, and you're going to like yourself better, which is going to give you more confidence and better results in the long run, because it does start with who we feel we are inside first. If you don't like where you're at and who you are, you're not going to spend time taking care of yourself. It's not going to happen. You can try all the diet programs. It's not going to work. Okay. And if it did, it's not sustainable because it's in a way that doesn't work with your life. So that is my share for you today. And tomorrow we're going to go ahead and answer all of the questions that you have and go through your schedules. And I'm going to give you a lot of bullet points on how to bring it all together and get more done, get more of your new goals done and met, and actually enjoy things a little bit better. So post any questions or comments below. Again, I can't see this. I'm on my desktop, but I'll check it after this goes live. Actually, it's live after it goes on recording. And looking forward to fixing the mess that we call our schedule, if yours is a little bit of a mess. So not that it's bad, but we're just going to make it a lot better. All right, team. We'll see you guys tomorrow.